So we have talked a little bit about the DOM, the document object model, and today we're going to take a little deeper dive and learn more about the document object model and how to use that model to manipulate and change what we see in our HTML documents. So the reading assignment kind of focuses on the DOM. You're going to want to read through all of this or chapter 5 in the book. And then you're going to go through the key concepts. And I always like to kind of start with an overview. So the DOM is kind of a subset of the browser object model. So I think it's kind of helpful to see how it fits in. And then we can kind of break down the DOM from there. So that's kind of the approach that I take. So you can look through this, and it does go through a lot of different commands for accessing elements on the page. And then you'll notice that I do have little Easter eggs in here, I guess is what they're called, but little try it buttons. So you makes the page a little interactive. Okay, so if you ever see any kind of buttons, usually you can click on them and something should happen. Once you finish with that lecture demo, you're going to move on to the programming assignment. And so the first one is you're going to actually animate a unicycle. So the code that you are going to be using is very similar to the code that was used for this push pin example. Okay, it's just that you're going to have a unicycle instead of a pin. Okay, so the video kind of walks through this code and explains what it does. And watching that video is going to be super, super helpful when you work on the unicycle, because you're going to need to do something similar. So you're going to download the unicycle. There's a lot of graphics in this. Do not change the location of the graphics. And you should be able to set it up similar to this example. Then the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to work with DOM collections. And so this exercise, what you're being asked to do is very similar to this, where you've got thumbnails that link to larger graphics. Okay, that's all that was in the page. Everything below that was generated based on the collections. So you're going to be doing something very similar to that, but you're going to use your own images and your own formatting. Okay, but basically it's going to do the same thing. You're going to have 4 image thumbnails that are going to link to 4 full-size images, and you're going to use the DOM collection and generate the text that displays. Then finally, the last exercise, you are going to manipulate the elements on the page using DOM commands. So there was lots of examples of this in the lecture demo. And so what I did was I kind of took those examples out. Okay. And this first one, we can change all the paragraphs green, change the first and second to blue. Okay, so that is one of the things that you need to do. The user can add, delete, or update a portion of the page. So changing the color is updating a portion of the page. The user can change at least 2 styles. So again, what I did here, this is changing styles. Okay, so you are probably going to want to take a look at these examples. Get rid of some of these. And let me reload this. So what it did was it replaced this second paragraph with hello. So if we right click and hopefully, I'm not sure if we can view the contents of that, but it is in the lecture demo for you to look at. And I think we have something similar here. So let me reload this. Okay, so this was added, whereas this was changed. I thought we could get, okay, I think it's going to take us in there now. View page source. Okay, so here I've tried to put comments in here telling you what I'm doing. So you can kind of follow how that code got in there. And then same with this one. All right, get back to our page. Where is it? Okay, so I do have a couple more examples, but basically you're going to have to add, delete, and update all three and change two styles. Okay, and you can do this all in one page or separate pages, totally up to you. Once you're done, you're going to upload everything to the web and then submit done to the assignment Dropbox. And then finally, you are going to participate in the discussion, the impact of design on content communication. Okay, so here's some sites that you can take a look at. You need to find a site that communicates well and post a link to that site, and then provide a short summary of why you selected that site. Okay, so that is pretty much what we are covering this week. Okay, as far as additional resources, we have tutoring, the publisher's PowerPoint presentation, and then a couple more articles on the DOM. So if you do run into any problems this week, or if you have questions, please let me know. Just make sure in the assignment, when you get to that last exercise, that you include code that is updating, adding, and deleting from a page. Just don't pick one of them. You need to do all three. Okay, and also make sure you have two style changes. If you run into problems or if you have questions, please let me know, and have an awesome week.